Our verse today is Psalm 102, verse 2. Do not hide your face from me in the day of my distress. Incline your ear to me. Answer me speedily in the day when I call. The introduction to this psalm says, a prayer of one afflicted when he is faint and pours out his complaint before the Lord. It is a psalm calling on God for help in times of pain and distress, in times of anguish. The psalmist says his heart is struck down and that he has forgotten to eat. Read verse 4. He is like one in the desert. He cannot sleep at night. His enemies are after his life, and his food is ashes, and his drink tears. Our verse today is verse 2. And we can break the verse down into three parts. The first part says, do not hide your face from me on the day of my distress. The psalmist uses human terms like face and ears for God. The expression, hide not your face, is commonly used for God in the Old Testament. When the face of God is hidden or is covered, it means, for the Old Testament understanding, it means God is refusing to see and acknowledging that a person is present. You can read Ezekiel chapter 12, verse 6. When God hides his face from one's sins, it means that God forgives. He does not count the sin against the person anymore. Read Psalm 51, verse 9. But to see the face of God is connected with God's presence and worship. We see that in Revelation chapter 22, 3-4. So when God hides his face, it means he is withdrawing his presence, guardianship, and shuns human worship and prayer. To hide his face means that there is no communication with God. That is what we find in Deuteronomy chapter 31 and chapter 32, verse 20. It means that God ignores the person. If you read Psalm 13 verse 1, 67 verse 17. It means God is refusing to answer the prayers as we have in our verse. The psalmist addresses God as if he is behaving like a human being. But we know that if God turns his face from us, we die. We cannot survive. But the psalmist is addressing God because of his pain and suffering. We too sometimes feel that God is so far away from us and doubt if God is present when we are going through difficult times. And so we can even complain about God. The second part of the verse asks God to incline his ear to him, the psalmist. Again, the psalmist uses the ear as if God has ears like human beings. In the Bible, the ear is synonymous with the heart and mind. Read Proverbs chapter 2 verse 2, Isaiah chapter 6, 9-10. To hear is to listen and understand. If you read Job chapter 34 verse 16 or Job chapter 13 verse 1. To incline the ear is to be disposed favorably to what one says. When the psalmist calls on God to incline his ears, he is asking God to turn his heart towards him and listen favorably to his prayers. The last part of the verse tells God to answer speedily. When the psalmist calls on God to turn his face towards him and his ears to listen to his prayers, he is asking God not to delay because of his pain and suffering and anguish. When we look around us, we see so many people in pain. There are so many people suffering, and some cannot even cry out themselves to God. My heart bleeds when I think about those displaced by war, especially our brothers and sisters in Ukraine. Or look at the number of people in IDP camps in the northern part of Nigeria. Yet our politicians there in Nigeria are more concerned about the politics of 2023. Let us call on God today on behalf of these suffering people. Let us also ask God to turn his face towards each of us in whatever difficulty we are experiencing, either as individuals or families. Lord, do not hide your face from us in the day of our distress. Incline your ear to us. Answer us speedily in the day when we call. Amen. God bless you, and I wish you a wonderful day.